What is today? All right, gals and guys, we got Halloween out of the way, so you all know what's coming next. National Advent Calendar Day was launched in 2020 by Aldi, an international discount supermarket chain based in Germany. Aldi begins the sale of its Advent calendars on the first Wednesday of November, which is November 1st this year, kicking off the holiday season. The first Advent calendars were created in the early 19th century in Germany. These early versions were not like the Advent calendars we are familiar with today. Instead, they were often in the form of religious devotional tools with 24 or 25 doors, flaps, or windows to be open each day in December leading up to Christmas. Behind each door, there might be a Bible verse, a religious image, or a piece of chocolate. Now it's just crazy. Advent calendars gained popularity outside of Germany and became a cherished Christmas tradition in many countries. The concept of Advent calendars continued to evolve with the inclusion of various treats, small toys, and surprises behind the doors. Even booze for you lushes out there. What is today? I'm excited to share with you that today is National Deviled Egg Day, which is celebrated on November 2nd each year. It's an excellent celebration. The concept of mixing hard-boiled eggs with spices and other ingredients can be traced back to ancient Rome, where eggs were often boiled and seasoned with various spices and sauces. The word deviled in the context of food originally referred to spicy or highly seasoned dishes. Deviled eggs began to take a form closer to the modern dish during the Middle Ages in Europe. Cooks started adding ingredients like vinegar, mustard, and various spices to hard-boiled egg yolks, creating a flavorful filling. Deviled eggs made their way to America and became an extra popular dish at picnics, potlucks, and family gatherings in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The American version typically involves mixing the egg yolks with mayonnaise and mustard for creaminess and tang. Make sure not to get egg on your face by missing the celebration on National Deviled Egg Day. That's all for today, yolks. What is today? National Jersey Friday is a day when sports fans wear their favorite jerseys. It's celebrated on the first Friday in November. In 2023, National Jersey Friday is on November 3rd. The National Football League Players Association founded National Jersey Friday to bring fans together on a single day in November and celebrate by wearing their favorite football player's jersey. The holiday was created in 2011 and was added to the Register of National Day calendar in 2016. The history of the jersey fabric's name can be traced back to the late 19th century when the fabric was first produced. The fabric was originally made on the island of Jersey, which is one of the Channel Islands located between England and France. The name Jersey became synonymous with the knit fabric produced on the island. Jersey fabric gained popularity due to its durability and flexibility, making it an ideal choice for clothing, including sports jerseys, t-shirts, and various casual wear. So get your jersey on this Friday, November 3rd. What is today? National Jersey Friday is celebrated on the first Friday in November. In ancient civilizations, athletes often competed in a variety of sports, including running, wrestling, and chariot racing. These early athletes typically wore minimal clothing or simple garments for ease of movement. The ancient Olympic Games in Greece, dating back to 776 BC, featured athletes who competed in the nude to honor the idolized human body. I'm not sure I want my parts waving in the breeze as I'm engaging in a sporting event. As organized sports and competitions became more popular in the 19th century, athletes began wearing more practical clothing. Uniforms became standardized to represent teams, and they often featured team colors, logos, and numbers to identify players. Jersey Friday is often associated with promoting team spirit and camaraderie, especially during sports season or leading up to important games or events. It allows people to express their sports fandom and can foster a sense of community or unity among colleagues or students who share a common interest in a particular team. What is today, may you ask? Here's something we could all use more of, some more than others. It was Will Rogers who was quoted as saying, "Common sense ain't that common." Rogers, born in 1879, has a birthday coinciding with Use Your Common Sense Day, established by Bud Belenich, a career mentor with a reputation for focusing on being the common sense guy. This day is observed on November 4th each year, first celebrated in 2015. What is common sense? What makes a sense common? How common is common sense? You are all asking outstanding questions this morning. Common sense as a concept is ancient, first being brought to the limelight by the great philosopher Aristotle. He described it as the ability with which animals process sense perceptions, memories, and imagination to reach many types of judgment. Use some common sense on Use Your Common Sense Day, my fellow humans. Give it a try. You may like it. What is today in honor of Use Your Common Sense Day, observed on November 4th? I give you these product labels, probably put there because people weren't using their common sense. Do not use for drying pets. Caution, remove infant before folding for storage. Caution, hot beverages are hot. May be harmful if swallowed, from a safety data sheet about hammers. Never iron clothes while they are being worn. Caution, risk of fire on fireplace logs. Here's an absolute weird one. Do not use soft wax as earplugs or for any other function that involves insertion into a body cavity. This was on a box of birthday cake candles. This product not intended for use as a dental drill. That's a warning on a carpenter's drill. Do not use for personal hygiene. That's on a box of Scrubbing Bubbles Fresh Brush. I shit you not, these are all real, and I'm sure there's plenty more where that came from. What is today? They say blondes have more fun, but not today. On National Redhead Day, observed November 5th each year in the United States. This day celebrates individuals with natural red hair, a relatively rare trait that occurs in only about 1 to 2% of the global population. Red hair is caused by a variation in the MC1R gene and is often accompanied by fair skin and freckles. Red hair has often been associated with various cultural beliefs and superstitions. In some cultures, redheads were considered to have magical or supernatural powers, while in others they were thought to be cursed or associated with the devil. Red hair is more common in regions like Scotland and Ireland, where it's estimated that around 10 to 13% of the population has red hair. This is often attributed to Celtic and Norse ancestry. Red hair was relatively common among the Viking population, and Norse mythology mentions red hair deities and characters. It is believed that the Viking exploration and migration contributed to the spread of the red hair gene. What is today? Okay, you foodies. National Nachos Day is a food holiday celebrated on November 6th each year. Nachos are a popular Mexican-inspired snack made with tortilla chips, typically topped with melted cheese and various toppings, such as jalapenos, sour cream, guacamole, and salsa. Oh, yummy. Nachos originated in the city of Piedras Negros, Coahuila, across the border from Eagle Pass, Texas. Ignacio Nacho Anoya created nachos at the Victory Club in 1940 when Mammy Finnan, a regular customer, asked if Anoya could bring her and 3 other women from Eagle Pass a different snack than usual. In Spanish, nacho is a common nickname for Ignacio. Anoya went to the kitchen and spotted freshly fried pieces of corn tortillas. In a moment of culinary inspiration, Anoya cut the tortillas into triangles, fried them, added shredded cheese, quickly heated them, added sliced pickle, jalapeno peppers, and served them. They were a hit. What is today? Election Day is observed on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, taking place on November 7th this year. This is the day we cast ballots to select public officials from local to the national government. Former President Obama claimed that if you do not vote in elections, you have no right to complain about subsequent political developments. He's just pissed because I didn't vote for him. People who do not vote or will not vote retain an inalienable right to complain. More than that, they should complain. As President Obama may or may not know, we live in a free society where speech is protected under the First Amendment. Maybe he's been listening to this guy too much.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
It's right there, Chris. It's in the Bill of Rights. It's Election Day. Get to the ballot and vote for who you want. If you don't want to vote, don't. Could you imagine if no one showed up at the ballot box next November? I think things would change pretty damn quickly in Washington. They should make a new sticker that reads, "I voted, but all I got was this stupid sticker." What is today? November 8th has officially been designated as a Bet and Aid Punsters Day, having originated sometime in the 1970s. It is a day to make dreadful puns and encourage others to do the same, so let's get it done. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. I used to play the piano by ear, but now I use my hands. I'm reading a book on mazes. I'm getting lost in it. I'm a big fan of whiteboards. I find them quite remarkable. Why did the bicycle fall over? Because it was too tired. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. I'm writing a book on reverse psychology. Don't read it. Sign at the entrance of a rehab center reads, "Keep off the grass." I'm reading a book on anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. The kleptomaniac didn't understand puns. He took everything literally. What is today? This is definitely not a New York thing because I have never heard of it. National Scrapple Day is celebrated on November 9th each year. Scrapple is a traditional American food that is especially popular in the mid-Atlanta region, particularly Pennsylvania. Well, that explains that. I thought scrapple was when you try to put words together with little tiles. Scrapple's roots can be traced back to German and Pennsylvania Dutch immigrants who settled in the region during the 17th and 18th centuries. These settlers brought with them a tradition of making a dish known as panicle soup, I suppose, which was a porridge-like dish made from pork scrap and cornmeal. Scrapple was a practical way for early American settlers to make use of all parts of the pig, minimizing waste. They would simmer pork scraps, including the head, liver, heart, and other less desirable cuts, until tender, then mix the meat with cornmeal and spices to create a mush. Sounds dreamy! I'm gonna go play some Scrabble while eating some Scrapple. What is today? The United States Marine Corps celebrates its birthday on November 10th each year. The Marine Corps was established on November 10th of 1775 by a resolution of the Continental Congress in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania during the American Revolutionary War. This makes the Marine Corps the oldest branch of the United States military. Throughout its history, the Marine Corps has earned a reputation for its discipline, dedication, and effectiveness in a variety of operations. The Marine Corps hymn, with its famous opening line, "From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli," reflects the Corps' storied history and its role in defending the nation's interests. The United States Marine Corps' birthday is a time for Marines past and present to come together to celebrate their shared history, traditions, and the values that defines the Marine Corps. The day is often marked by various events and ceremonies, including the traditional birthday ball, where Marines gather to honor their heritage and pay tribute to the Corps. What is today? Veterans Day is a federal holiday in the United States that honors military veterans who have served in the United States Armed Forces. It is observed annually on November 11th. The date marks the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I in 1918, which took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. On November 1919, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th as Armistice Day to honor the veterans of World War I. After World War II and the Korean War, Congress recognized the need to expand the recognition to honor veterans of all wars and conflicts and genders. In 1954, after lobbying by veterans service organizations, the 83rd U.S. Congress officially amended the 1938 Act that had made Armistice Day a holiday, replacing the word armistice with veterans. November 11th became a day to honor American veterans of all wars, and thus Armistice Day officially became Veterans Day. What is today? I have no idea what this is. Do you? Let's find out together on National Pupusa Day. I'm not sure I want to eat anything that starts with pupu. Pupusa has been a staple of Salvador cuisine for centuries, with origins tracing back to the indigenous Pipil people of El Salvador. The Pipil, who inhabited the region before the arrival of the Spanish, were known to make corn-based dishes, including thick tortillas filled with different ingredients. The name pupusa is believed to have originated from the Pipil word pupusa, whatever, which means stuffed. The classic pupusa is made from corn flour and water, forming a thick, flat bread. Traditional fillings include cheese, refried beans, and chicharron? You tell me. The simplicity of the ingredients combined with the skillful preparation of the masa and fillings contributes to the enduring popularity of pupusa, both with El Salvador and internationally. What is today? I have no idea what this is either. Celebrated every November 13th, National Indian Pudding Day is your day to try the puddings that Native Indians used to make. Are they going to change the name to Native American Pudding or Indigenous People Pudding? Indian pudding likely originated in the 17th century when European settlers in North America adapted their traditional recipes to include ingredients in the New World. The basic ingredients for Indian pudding typically include cornmeal, milk, molasses, and spices such as cinnamon and ginger. Indian pudding was a popular dessert in colonial America and remained a common dish in New England for many years. However, its popularity declined in the 19th and early 20th centuries as new cooking methods and ingredients became more widespread. While it may not be widely known as some other desserts, it holds a special place in the history of American cuisine. Now go have some Indian pudding, or Native American pudding, or Indigenous People pudding. What is today? Soma, which is an online retailer that sells pajamas, founded National Family PJ Day in 2019 to celebrate lounging around with our nearest and dearest during Sleep Comfort Month, and probably also to promote pajamas so they can sell them on their website. The precursor to modern pajamas can be traced back to Asia, particularly to India. Traditional Indian clothing included loose-fitting trousers tied at the waist, known as pajama. These garments were comfortable and well-suited for sleeping. European colonists and traders encountered these comfortable garments in India and brought them back to the West. Pajamas gained popularity in Western countries during the 18th and 19th centuries, where they were initially worn as loungewear. In the 19th century, pajamas started to evolve into two-piece garments. The design often included a jacket or a shirt top with trousers. Pajamas became more mainstream in the early 20th century, and they were no longer limited to sleepwear. They began to be worn as comfortable clothing for lounging around the house and to do your shopping at Walmart.
I guess the worst thing that can happen cleaning out or looking through the refrigerator is to come across something that you cannot identify at all. You literally do not know what it is. Could be meat, could be cake. Usually at a time like that, I'll bluff. Honey, is this good?
Well, what is it?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. It looks like meat cake. Actually, it has no smell whatsoever.
It's good.
What is today? The Great American Smokeout is an annual event in the United States that takes place on the third Thursday of November. This event was established by the American Cancer Society in 1977 to encourage and support people in their efforts to quit smoking. The inception of the Great American Smokeout stems from a 1970 event in Randolph, Massachusetts. High school guidance counselor Arthur P. Mullaney asked people to give up cigarettes for one day and donate the money they would have spent on buying cigarettes to a high school scholarship fund. A few years later, in 1974, newspaper editor Lynn R. Smith led Minnesota's first Don't Smoke Day. The two efforts caught on, and on November 8th of 1976, the California division of the American Cancer Society got 1 million people to quit smoking for the day. This marked the first official smokeout before the American Cancer Society took it nationwide in 1977. In the early 1950s, when Sir Hugh Beaver, managing director of the Guinness Brewery, attended a shooting party in County Wexford, Ireland. There, he and his hosts argued about the fastest game bird in Europe and failed to find an answer in any reference book. In 1954, recalling his shooting party argument, Sir Hugh had the idea for a Guinness promotion based on the idea of settling pub arguments and invited the twins Norris and Ross McWhirter, who were fact-finding researchers from Fleet Street, to compile a book of facts and figures. Guinness Superlatives was incorporated on November 30th, and the office opened in 2 rooms in a converted gymnasium on the top floor of Ludgate House, 107 Fleet Street. On August 27th of 1955, the first edition of what was then known as the Guinness Book of Records was published and distributed for free to pubs as a marketing giveaway for Guinness beer. It became an instant success and garnered widespread interest. What is today? National Baklava Day is a celebration dedicated to the delicious and sweet pastry known as baklava. Baklava is a popular dessert made of layers of filo pastry filled with chopped nuts, commonly walnuts, pistachio, or almonds, and held together with syrup or honey. It's a dessert that's widely enjoyed in many countries with variations in ingredients and preparation methods across different cultures. The exact origins of National Baklava Day are not officially documented, but it's celebrated on November 17th each year. On this day, people celebrate the rich and indulgent flavors of baklava by making, sharing, and enjoying this delightful pastry with friends and family. The celebration of National Baklava Day serves to honor this beloved dessert, encourages people to appreciate its unique taste and artistry involved in creating it. Whether you're a baklava enthusiast or trying it for the first time, this day is a wonderful excuse to treat yourself to a piece of this delectable pastry. What is today? Hey, Mickey Mouse Day is observed on November 18th every year. This day commemorates the creation of Mickey Mouse, a cheerful and adventurous cartoon character who made its debut on November 18th of 1928. Walt Disney originally conceived the idea of a new character after losing the rights to his earlier character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, in 1928 during a train ride from New York to Los Angeles. Disney came up with the idea of a cheerful, mischievous mouse character named Mortimer. However, his wife Lillian Disney suggested the name Mickey Mouse, which Walt liked much better. Mickey Mouse made his debut in the animated short film Steamboat Willie on November 18th of 1928. This cartoon, directed by Walt Disney and UB Iwerks, was one of the first synchronized sound cartoons and gained immense popularity, marking the official introduction of Mickey Mouse to the world. Throughout the 1930s, Mickey Mouse starred in numerous animated short films, such as The Band Concert in 1935 and Brave Little Tailor in 1938. His popularity soared, and he became the mascot for the Walt Disney Company. Mickey's success led to the creation of various merchandise, comic strips, and merchandise tie-ins. He also appeared in comic strips starting in 1930, further expanding his reach beyond the animated screen. Over the years, Mickey's appearance underwent some changes. His design evolved to be more streamlined and dynamic, adapting to the changing animation styles and technological advancements. Throughout his long history, Mickey Mouse has remained a beloved and timeless character, continuing to entertain audiences through cartoons, merchandise, theme park appearances, and various forms of media. His influence on animation and popular culture is profound, and he remains a cherished character around the world. What is today? National Play Monopoly Day is celebrated on November 19th each year. It's a day dedicated to the classic board game Monopoly, encouraging people to gather together and enjoy playing this iconic game of buying, selling, and strategizing to become the wealthiest player. The precursor to Monopoly emerged in the early 1900s. Elizabeth Magie, an American game designer, created a game called The Landlord's Game in 1903. She intended this game to illustrate the economic consequences of land monopolism and to promote the concept of Georgism. In the 1930s, Charles Darrow, an unemployed salesman from Pennsylvania, created a variation of the game inspired by The Landlord's Game. He introduced elements such as the iconic street names, property cards, houses, and hotels. Monopoly gained immense popularity when Parker Brothers, a game company, bought the rights from Charles Darrow in 1935. They refined the game further and mass-produced it, leading to widespread success. What is today? November 20th is Name Your PC Day. Why? I don't know. In celebration of this random day, I'm going to show you how to name your PC. Now, if you don't have an idea what to name your PC, then there's several name generators online. Just hit Google and put in name generator, or you can go to ChatGPT and just put in, what should I name my computer? It will spit you out a list of names, and once you decide on a name, then we'll get in to change the name of your computer. So there's two ways you can go in there and do that. You open your file explorer, just open like a folder. So just right click on this PC and then just hit properties. And there you go. You just hit rename, and then it'll give you the option to put in whatever your name you want. It says Bob right now. I'm going to put in My Media Helper. So there you go, right up there after the reboot, My Media Helper. Do keep in mind that you can't have any spaces in your name. What is today? In December of 1996, the United Nations proclaimed November 21st as World Television Day, commemorating the date of which the first World Television Forum was held that same year. Not to celebrate the object itself, but the symbol for communication and globalization in the contemporary world that it represents. The concept of television began with the discovery of photoconductivity by German physicist Carl Ferdinand Braun and Scottish engineer John Logie Baird's exploration of transmitting images over wire in the 1920s. Baird is credited with creating the first working mechanical television system. In 1925, he demonstrated the transmission of moving silhouette images using a rotating disc mechanism. Simultaneously, inventors like Philo Farnsworth in the United States were working on electronic television. The first television system broadcast was a straight line by Philo Farnsworth on September 7th of 1927. Philo Farnsworth patented his dissector tube in 1927. It turned out to be an important component in the development of all electronic television. Television's first drama, The Queen's Messenger, is broadcast from Schenectady, New York station WGY on September 11th of 1928. Regular television broadcasting began in the 1930s. The BBC in the United Kingdom and other networks in the United States initiated experimental broadcasts. The first regular high-definition television service started in Germany in 1935. Television gained popularity after World War II. The 1950s saw significant growth in the number of households owning TVs, which became a central source of entertainment and information. Color television was introduced, starting with experimental broadcasts in the late 1940s and becoming more widespread in the 1960s. It significantly enhanced the viewing experience. Satellite technology and cable television expanded broadcasting capabilities, offering a wider range of channels and content. This era saw the introduction of pay-per-view services and specialized channels. The transition from analog to digital technology transformed television. Digital signals provided higher quality, more channels, interactive features, and high-definition broadcasts. The rise of the internet and smart technology integrated television with online content, streaming services, and interactive capabilities, allowing viewers to access a vast array of entertainment on demand. And hey, you've accessed me. Did I say you could access me? Throughout its history, television has evolved from early experimental models to the sophisticated high-definition internet-connected TVs of today. It has become a central part of global culture, shaping societies, influencing opinions, and connecting people across the world. And thank you for accessing me. You can access me anytime you want. That sounds very naughty. Watch me anytime you want. Now that just sounds voyeuristic. The inaugural celebration of National Jukebox Day landed on November 23rd of 2017, the anniversary of the date the first coin-operated phonograph was installed by Louis Glass in the Palais Royal Saloon Bar in San Francisco back in 1889. National Jukebox Day is now observed annually Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. The precursor to the jukebox was the phonograph invented by Thomas Edison in the late 19th century. These devices allowed people to listen to recorded music on wax cylinders or discs. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, coin-operated machines emerged, enabling users to play a specific song by inserting coins. These machines were often found in public spaces like arcades and were known as coin pianos or nickel-in-the-slot machines. The term jukebox gained popularity in the 1930s. These machines evolved to incorporate multiple records, allowing for a selection of songs. The 1940s and the 1950s marked the jukebox golden era, becoming an integral part of American culture. Gobble gobble, happy American Thanksgiving for those who celebrate such a thing. I will certainly be eating turkey with my family today. Thanksgiving is observed on the fourth Thursday of November. The traditional story of the American Thanksgiving traces back to the early 17th century when English pilgrims and Native Americans celebrated a harvest feast in Plymouth, Massachusetts in 1621. The pilgrims, who arrived in the New World seeking religious freedom, gathered with the Wampanoag Native Americans to share a meal and give thanks for a successful harvest. At its essence, Thanksgiving is a time to express appreciation and gratitude for the blessings, abundance, and positive aspects of life. It encourages individuals to reflect on the things they are thankful for, both big and small, fostering a sense of appreciation for family, friends, health, opportunities, and other blessings. It is also a time to watch football, eat turkey and delicious side dishes, watch the Macy's parade, enjoy the time off with friends and family. What is today the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is an annual event held in New York City on Thanksgiving Day, typically taking place on the fourth Thursday of November. This iconic parade is known for its elaborate floats, giant balloons, marching bands, performances, and entertainment. The parade has a rich history dating back to 1924 when it was first organized by Macy's department store employees. It was initially called the Macy's Christmas Parade to signify the start of the Christmas shopping season. The parade route stretches for approximately 2.5 miles through Manhattan, starting at Central Park West and 77th Street, then heading down to 34th Street, finally concluding in front of Macy's Herald Square. The parade marks the official start of the holiday season for many people. It has become a cherished tradition for families to gather around their televisions and watch the parade, often while preparing Thanksgiving meals. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a beloved and anticipated event during Thanksgiving in the United States. Gobble, 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 gobble. What is today Unthanksgiving Day is an observance that stands as an alternative to the traditional Thanksgiving narrative. The concept of Unthanksgiving Day is rooted in acknowledging the true history of colonization, the impact of European settlement on indigenous lands, cultures, and communities, and the often overlooked perspectives of Native Americans regarding the traditional Thanksgiving narrative. Instead of celebrating the conventional Thanksgiving story that often emphasizes harmony between Pilgrims and Native Americans, Thanksgiving Day seeks to shed light on the darker aspects of history, including the displacement, violence, cultural suppression, and loss experienced by indigenous communities as a result of colonization. The intention behind Thanksgiving Day is not to discourage gratitude or family gatherings, but rather to encourage a more nuanced understanding of history, promote healing and reconciliation, and amplify the voices and experiences of indigenous peoples whose stories have often been marginalized or misrepresented. It's Eat a Cranberry Day on November 23rd each year. This day celebrates the cranberry, a tart red fruit often associated with Thanksgiving meals and commonly used in various dishes, sauces, juices, and baked goods. Cranberries are indigenous to North America and were used by Native American tribes long before the arrival of European settlers. Native Americans used cranberries not only for food but also for medicinal purposes, using them to treat wounds, dye fabrics, and as a food source. European settlers in America learned about cranberries from Native Americans. Cranberries became a part of the settlers' diets, and they began incorporating them into various dishes. In the early 19th century, cranberry cultivation began in the United States. Farmers discovered that cranberries thrived in sandy, acidic soil and were able to be cultivated in wetlands known as bogs. Cranberries have become not only a popular ingredient, but also a cultural icon associated with autumn, Thanksgiving, and healthy eating. The National Dog Show is an annual event that takes place in the United States and is broadcast nationally on television around Thanksgiving Day. It is one of the oldest and most prestigious dog shows in the country. The National Dog Show traces its root back to 1879 when the first dog show was held in Philadelphia by the Kennel Club of Philadelphia. The tradition continued, and in 1933 the American Kennel Club of Philadelphia introduced what is now known as the National Dog Show. Initially held at the Germantown Kennel Club, it later moved to various venues before settling at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Since 2002, the National Dog Show has been broadcast nationally on Thanksgiving Day on NBC immediately following the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The pinnacle of National Dog Show is the crowning of the Best in Show winner, where the top dogs from each breed group compete against one another. The judge selects the overall Best in Show winner, representing the epitome of breed excellence. Black Friday is a popular shopping day in the United States that occurs the day after Thanksgiving, marking the unofficial start of the holiday shopping season. The origin of the term Black Friday in relation to shopping is believed to have originated in Philadelphia in the 1950s or earlier. It was used by police officers to describe the chaotic and congested streets caused by the influx of shoppers and tourists the day after Thanksgiving. The term black was used to describe the heavy traffic and crowded sidewalks. Over time, retailers started associating the day after Thanksgiving with the beginning of the holiday shopping season. They aim to attract shoppers with special sales, promotions, and discounts, hoping to turn a profit and transition from being in the red to being in the black. Black Friday has become a significant part of American consumer culture, marked by massive discounts and promotions, encouraging consumers to start their holiday shopping and providing retailers an opportunity to boost sales before the year ends. Now get out there and beat the shit out of each other for that last Cabbage Patch Kid. If you're a man causing harm to a woman for any circumstance, with the rare exception of something life-threatening, then you're no man at all and barely a human being. White Ribbon Day is observed on November 25th each year. It marks the beginning of the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence, a global campaign that runs until December 10th, which is International Human Rights Day. The historical context of this day was an instance of misogyny which occurred at the École Polytechnique in Montreal, Quebec, Canada on December 6th of 1989 and referred to as the Montreal Massacre. The massacre resulted when 25-year-old Marc Lepine slaughtered 14 ladies because of his hatred towards women. The White Ribbon Campaign, WRC, is a global movement of men and boys working to end male violence against women and girls. It was formed by a group of pro-feminist men in London, Ontario in November of 1991 as a response to the École Polytechnique massacre. The term Cyber Monday was coined by Ellen Davis, the president of the National Retail Foundation, and was first used within the e-commerce community during the 2005 holiday season. According to Scott Silverman, the head of Shop.org, the term was coined based on a 2004 research showing one of the biggest online shopping days of the year was Monday after Thanksgiving. The idea for having the online observance was created by Tony Volato in 2003 while working at 1-800-Flowers.com and coined White Wednesday to be the day before Thanksgiving for online retailers. That one never quite caught on. In late November 2005, the New York Times reported the name Cyber Monday grew out of the observation that millions of otherwise productive working Americans, fresh off a Thanksgiving weekend of window shopping, were returning to high-speed internet connections at work Monday and buying what they liked. At that time in 2005, a lot of people had slow internet at home. I still have nightmares of AOL dial-up. That sound is haunting. Red Planet Day is celebrated on November 28th as it commemorates the launch of the spacecraft Mariner 4 by NASA in 1964, which was the first craft to ever reach Mars. It took almost 8 full months for the craft to reach the Red Planet, finally performing a flyby on July 14th of 1965. The Mariner and Viking missions in the 1960s and 1970s conducted flybys, orbiters, and landers, sending back images and data about the Martian surface. Rovers like Curiosity and Perseverance are equipped with tools to explore the Martian surface, analyze soil samples, and study the planet's geology to assess its potential habitability. There are ongoing plans and proposals by space agencies, including NASA and private companies like SpaceX, to send missions to Mars. These missions aim to establish habitats, conduct further research, and potentially pave the way for human settlement, but we need to get our shit together on this planet before considering inhabiting another.
He roared onto the screen as T'Challa, Black Panther in Marvel's Captain America: Civil War. 2 years later, in 2018, Boseman revealing Wakanda to the world.
I didn't have enough time with Chadwick. I mean, it's a statement that I know everyone is making.
We got a good thing, babe.
And everyone can make because he was here far too short a time.
Chadwick was a deeply kind and gentle person and very present and thoughtful, and those qualities are all so present in his work.
We will never break.
I
just love you, man. Have a wonderful journey. Wherever it is that you're going, they're lucky to have you.
Celebrate Shelter Pets Day occurs each year on the first Thursday after Thanksgiving. This special day was created in 2019 by the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals to celebrate and promote the adoption of pets from animal shelters. It's an opportunity to raise awareness about the countless animals waiting for loving homes in shelters across the world. The day encourages people to consider adopting pets from shelters instead of purchasing them from breeders or pet stores. Consider adopting a pet from a local animal shelter or rescue organization. Share information about the importance of adopting pets from shelters and share stories of successful adoptions. Bust myths or misconceptions about shelter animals and encourage others to consider adoption. Adopting a shelter pet not only provides a loving home for an animal in need, but also helps to reduce the population of homeless pets and supports the vital work of shelters and rescue organizations. By providing a forever home to a shelter animal, you're giving them a second chance at a happy life.